Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to be talking about transitions. Transitions allow your story or your paragraph to flow more smoothly. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your table of contents in your ELA notebook, and underneath dialogue, you're going to write transitions, and then that's going to be on page 15. Okay, there's not anything that you need to fill out. You're just going to glue this paper on page 15. So 14, you should have your signal words glued on there. And then right next to it on page 15, you're going to glue this paper that you're going to receive. And it's going to look like this. Okay. So when you get this, you're just going to cut that out and you're going to glue it on page 15 in your ELA notebook. Okay. So let's talk about transitions. When you wrote your paragraphs, your descriptive paragraphs, many of you, even though I told you not to write a story, many of you tried writing a story. And when you did that, your transitions were then, 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 then. Okay. Um, let's try to stay away from using the word then as a transitional word. Okay. So what I mean by that is, first I went to the store. Then my friends and I played hopscotch. Then we did this. Then we did this. And a lot of you either then or you use and you don't even write sentences. It's just one long, huge run-on sentence using and. So I want you to be aware of other transitions. Okay. And in this list, it not only gives you a slew of transitions that you can use, but it also tells you when to use them. So if you're doing, so these are called transitional chains. So in other words, like first you do this, then second, or first in addition, equally important. Okay, those kind of things. So you have two boxes full of kind of a chain where there's a list of things that you're doing. Okay, when you're going to do your, this is all leading up to writing a narrative. So we're not really going to have a list of things that you're going to do. You're going to be writing a story. So, a lot of those would be to show time. Okay. So, showing time passing. So, you could say immediately after this happened. Okay. Or soon there came a loud thud. Okay. Um, so, any of these, there's tons of them here. After a few hours. Okay. Um, at that time. Okay. So, if something's happening at the same time, you can say that. Or in the meantime. So something's happening over here. Um, Jim is throwing a snowball at Paul. In the meantime, um, Sally is hiding under the tree, trying to stay away from the snowball fight or something. I don't know. Okay. So before you do, before you choose the transitions, ask yourself, what purpose do I need to use? Okay. So am I showing that time is passing? Am I showing a sequence of things? Okay, so showing a sequence is like first, second, third, right? Or next. And if you notice right here, it does say then, because every once in a while, then is okay. But if you have it more than twice in your story, it's too much. Okay. Um, that's the same with if you use next a whole bunch. Okay. You don't want to use the same transition a whole bunch of times. Okay. You want to switch it up a bit. Before this, simultaneously, concurrently. Okay. Or therefore, we did this, therefore, she was safe. Okay. Um, sometimes you're comparing things. Comparing means that you're telling like the things that are similar to one another. So, likewise, or in the same way. Okay. It's easy to see that. Okay. Or sometimes you're doing a contrast, which means you're saying what's different about the two things. Okay. So you could say on the other hand, okay, or contrary, all right, that means it's a difference. Okay. Or um despite Tim trying his hardest, he still could not build the snowman. Okay. So you're saying what's different. Okay. Sometimes you want to give an example. Okay. So obviously you can use for example, or for instance, or in this case, or of course they had fun playing in the snow. Okay. Or on this occasion. Okay. Um, and then there's ones to signal that the story is ending. Okay. Um, Obviously, in conclusion is one, but that one you usually don't use as much with a narrative as much as with an informative paper. Okay. But you could use therefore, you could use lastly, you could use finally, or obviously. Sometimes obviously is good. Um, and there are also times where when you don't always have to have a transitional word. Okay. Sometimes just telling the story is enough. What I want you to do is after you are done writing your story, read it and ask yourself, does it flow? Do you get from one event in your story to the next? If you don't, then look at these transitions to help you get from one event to the next. Okay. Now we're going to be talking about that next week. But today, so first of all, hopefully you've already finished the dialogue. Okay. Because some of you, I made some comments and asked you to correct it. So make sure you've done that. Then, if that's finished, then you're going to glue this page into your ELA notebook and write transitions on the table of contents, like I showed you. And then finally, you're going to get a paper called A Slice of Summer. Okay. And what I want you to do just for today, I want you to read the story and then I want you to just highlight the transitions. Okay. So take a highlighter. If you need to borrow one, but use hand sanitizer. Um, and then highlight transitions. So, for example, for the next few hours, that is a transition. So highlight that. Okay. Um, while is also a transition. So I would highlight that. There's two transitions here in the same sentence. Okay. You're not always going to have that, but I just want you to go through and highlight each transition. Okay. And then you're going to go over it at the end of class. Okay. So make sure you highlight all of them. It's just one page. And then for your online assignment on Monday, you are going to have to rewrite a paragraph using transitions. Okay. I will have another video for you on Monday that explains that assignment, but it's going to be very similar to the one we did when you added adjectives to make it better. Okay. So you're just going to rewrite that. It will be a Google Classroom assignment. And there, like I said, there will be a video. Okay. So right now, I want you to just practice identifying the different transitions that you could have in a short story. Okay. So go ahead and have fun with that. And then you're going to go over it when everyone's done. Enjoy.